Seattle. So Alice in Chains, everybody knows Alice in Chains.
Yeah,
right?
obviously.
Layne's.
I used to be the first band I was in was Titan Arum. It was early 2000s. We always make fun that it was practically an Alice in Chains cover band because that's all we ever played. So.
Love it. So Layne Staley used to work at one of these practice places.
Okay.
Used to work and live. This is Seattle, late 80s, early 90s grunge, But you would go, if you could imagine. So Alice in Chains is in one room practicing. Then there's Mudhoney.
Yeah.
And then there's Soundgarden.
Yeah.
And, all these bands, right before they broke and they became huge.
Yep.
All just going from room to room, and it's all these bands. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. It'd be cool. I don't know how viable it would be, but it would be cool because, bands they can get crazy, especially when they're young. They can, party and whatever. So
and there are less and less spaces for them to play anymore outside. I mean, the way I do it at my house, as we've talked about, is I can't really play live at my house. But I have MIDI drums, I have foot switches for my guitars and stuff. So we can hook literally everything up to headphones and play that way.
Right.
Which is what we typically do. But there's a lot of bands that just don't have the space or the ability to practice at their house, or they have to all rent out somebody's garage or something.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with noise complaints and stuff.
Yeah. And it's like today, the technology, it's easier to you can get some kind of amp modeling.
Oh, yeah.
Either software or get a pedal,
Yeah.
and everyone get one of those, get a MIDI drum set, electronic drum set. Everybody get on the in-ears.
Yeah.
And the only thing you're hearing is your voice. I mean, it's so much easier to do it now than, 25 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Blasting out the neighbors and townhome and stuff. Yeah.
You were lucky if you had a PA.
Right. Yeah.
Usually it was like a guitar amp that you would sing in through because that was and then you just turn that up and you just go, that was the PA,
right.
Nothing, to work with. So, it's sadly that's the case, but my overall hope is that more people get into writing music and because here's a myth. Myth is this. You go to college, you have to go to Washington, you got to go to Baltimore, Philly, or New York to get a job.
Yeah.
There are no jobs where you grew up.
Right.
That's not true. Because you can be educated and get an education, finance, whatever. Yeah. There's finance jobs. There's insurance jobs everywhere across the country, in every town, and all over America. Big, small, you don't have to go to the city.
Right.
Now, the corporations and the headquarters exist in the big cities, sure.
Yeah.
But you can find jobs, and people are needed in all sorts of jobs all across the country. So,
you can make your own.
Or you can make your own.
Yeah.
And that, just find a need and fulfill it. I think that also applies to music. The myth is that you have to go to Baltimore. You got to go to Philly in order to make it big.
Nashville.
Or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, what is true is there are more and better musicians concentrated in Nashville, absolutely New York and Philly and all those, and California a little bit, than there are in rural areas. However, where the Black Keys come from? Ohio.
Right.
Where did 311 come from? Omaha.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Rarely do bands that are huge that we all know and love come from the big city. They come from small towns. Bakersfield, California is where Korn is from.
Right.
It's a farming community. It's not a big, huge metropolis. So, I mean, relative to Milford, Delaware, I'm sure it's enormous, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
This is why this is here, and its hope is not to be more than anything to inspire people, leave a legacy, and help other people have their legacy of their music that they wrote and express themselves. Because in a bigger picture, could you imagine right now if I was like, hey, Josh, check this out. This is your grandfather. He wrote this song. This is him singing and recording. Whether it was crappy or not, you'd be like, what?
Yeah. Thanks for watching this clip of Recall the Podcast. Make sure to check out the full episode if you have the time. We do a highlight video once a week and a brand new episode every month. Peace and love, y'all.